Good morning, Oakcrest, and welcome back to your daily morning show. Well, we took a little bit of a trip out to Resiterstown, Maryland to take an opportunity to visit our good friends at the Baltimore Humane Society to see what their facility is like, as well as how you can adopt an animal today. With me now is Wendy Goldband. She is the Director of Marketing here at the Baltimore Humane Society, and she's going to tell us all about what's going on here at the shelter. So Wendy, you mentioned to us that the Humane Society is actually located on about 360 acres of land. You guys are only really using about 22 and a half. How did the Humane Society come to be here in Resiterstown?
The Humane Society was actually created by a woman named Elsie Seeger Barton. She was a Pikesville debutante, and as a child, she had rheumatic fever. She was very sick. Her pets kept her company, and when she recovered, she decided that she would devote her life to helping the animals. So she created Baltimore Humane Society in 1927. At the time, it was housed in Pikesville on the corner of Old Court Road and Park Heights Avenue, actually.
Okay.
I think it's where the Beltway is now. And in the late 50s, she decided to move out here, so she acquired the land.
Oh, wonderful. And then she set up the Humane Society, and you mentioned one of my favorite parts of the story that you were telling us before is Elsie didn't just have dogs and cats. She had quite an eclectic collection of animals. What are some of the more interesting animals that she actually had?
She was a very interesting woman, and if you have the time, I would actually direct anybody to our website to read our history, and you can read all about her. She was quite a fascinating woman, very eccentric. But here on our grounds, she had a lot of horses. She had geese. She had dogs, cats,
You're
rabbits.
pretty normal so far. I need something more.
Yeah. And then we get around to some of the other things. She had a burrow.
Okay.
And
I'm still not thinking that's too weird.
Well, we also understand that she had an anteater.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where you acquire that.
I'm not sure either.
If that was an owner's surrender, I don't know. And then she also lived in a house on our grounds, and in the house, guess who lived with her?
What?
Monkeys.
Okay. All right.
So she lived with the monkeys, and she cleaned her house out by hosing it down.
Oh, geez. Now, the one that you also mentioned to me that was the most outrageous was she apparently had an elephant.
Yes, she had an elephant. That was given to her by the circus when it was in town.
Wow.
And it is rumored to be buried somewhere here on the grounds.
That's going to be an interesting discovery someone might make one day.
Yeah, so she pretty much had a zoo here at one time,
Very true.
I'd say.
Very true. Have you guys ever had an elephant or some monkeys surrendered here?
No.
Okay.
Well, today, all we take are dogs, cats, rabbits, and other small furry animals. That's it.
Well, that's good to hear. Now, let's talk a little bit about the work that you guys do here on a regular basis. You know, it's not just a shelter. You guys provide a variety of services.
Yes, we do.
And one of those that I thought is interesting is you guys have a clinic here. Which gives people the opportunity to get their animals spayed, neutered, and vaccinated. Besides doing the animals that you guys have here, people can also bring their own pets in, correct?
Right. So, you know, our mission here is not only just to care for the unwanted animals and to try and rehome them, it is also to help stop homelessness of pets. The world, not just here in Baltimore or in the United States, but around the world, there is a terrible homeless problem for dogs and cats. There are millions and millions and millions of them. And the biggest way to stop that homelessness is to start spaying and neutering the animals. So we encourage that every owner who has a pet to please come in and get it spayed and neutered. But not every pet owner can afford that kind of medical care. So what we are doing here is we have our, and it's over there, our spay, neuter, and vaccine clinic. It is low cost for anybody who can't normally get to a veterinarian. And all they have to do is make an appointment, and they can have their dog or cat spayed or neutered here, and they can get all their vaccinations, bring their animals up to date, keep it healthy, and your pet will be happier, you will be happier. A lot of people don't realize that spaying or neutering your dog will make a very big difference in their personality and in their behavior. A lot of dogs, especially who are pretty rambunctious, will settle down quite a bit once they've been spayed or neutered.
and that's a good thing to keep in mind because, I mean, specifically for our residents at Oakcrest, I mean, you know, that rambunctiousness could be something that could almost be a turnoff for a pet.
Oh, for sure. It's a turnoff for a lot of people. And so is the marking.
Oh, I'm sure.
A lot of the males will mark. And once they've been neutered, hopefully that will come to an end.
Good. Well, that's good to hear.
And something else that people don't understand or realize is that you don't have to wait that long to spay or neuter them. Actually, I think it's 3 months for a cat and 4 months for a dog. You get them right in.
Okay.
And you're going to have a very happy, well-trained pet, well-behaved pet if you take care of it with training and get it spayed or neutered.
Oh, wonderful. Well, that's, and I know that you guys, all of the shelter animals that do come in here, you guys do spay and neuter them as part of the adoption process as well.
Yes, yes. So I'm glad you brought that up because people don't often realize when they adopt from us, they're not just getting the animal and taking it home.
Yeah,
and
you guys
having to do
provide a
things.
lot of services.
We give a lot of services. We want you to start off with a great situation that's going to make you a happy ending with your pet. So every dog and cat that comes to us will first we'll give it a full medical exam and make sure that it's healthy. And if it's not healthy, we can talk about that too. We have a special medical fund to take care of them. But we will make sure they're healthy. We'll give them all their vaccinations, bring them up to date. We will spay or neuter the animal if it hasn't already been. We'll also give it a microchip.
Oh, okay.
So when you pay that adoption fee to us, which isn't very much either, you're getting all that.
Right.
Normally that's not what you will get when you adopt an animal at most places.
And I think a lot of people don't realize as well that, you know, you guys are here primarily to help animals, you know? I mean, and don't get me wrong, you know, there's a lot of services that you provide, but your goal is to help these animals. So you guys aren't trying to do anything to prevent people from getting these animals. You know, you have a screening process, but you were telling me before, you know, it's stringent in the sense that you want to make sure these animals get a good home, but you said very few people actually get turned down. So that's good to hear.
Right. I mean, we're really looking to see if you've already had a pet, were you a responsible pet owner? Show us your vet records, please, so we know that you've kept your animals up to date with their medical care. If you are a renter, we want to make sure with the landlord that there are no breed restrictions. We don't want to see you take home a dog to have to bring it back again because that's a heartbreak for everybody.
Right.
And, you know, those are the kinds of things that we look at.
Now, you know, can we kind of walk through a little bit, help me realize what happens? So someone comes in, they unfortunately have to surrender an animal. What's the process the animal goes through here at the Humane Society before it can be adopted?
Right, so when an animal comes here, the first thing it does is it goes into what we call intake. So that's one side of the shelter and the adoption center is the other side.
Got it.
At any given time, we have anywhere from 160 to 200 animals here, but you wouldn't necessarily know it because some are in intake. So when they first get here, the very first thing we do is we assess them medically and make sure that they are healthy or not, and we will take care of them. We're a no-kill shelter, which is extremely important to emphasize. So when an animal comes to us, whether or not it is healthy, we will not euthanize it. We will make sure that it is taken care of medically, if at all possible. I mean, some animals are just way too far gone. That's a rare occurrence. But we typically will take care of any animal who is sick. We will find the outside help from other veterinarians who can do special surgeries. And we make that dog or cat adoptable.
Good.
And healthy and happy, so that it can live a good life. So we do the medical exam, we give it the vaccinations, we give the spay and neuter to any animal that hasn't already been spayed or neutered. Then, once all that's done, our trainers get involved. We do an assessment. How is this dog or cat behaviorally? Does it need help? Does the dog know how to walk on a leash? Does it know any basic commands? We want to get it to the point where it is adoptable. Not necessarily a super trained Lassie dog, but definitely a dog that you can take home.
I was hoping to have a dog that would save me from a well. I mean, that was just my hopes.
I know. A lot of people do come in expecting that. But I try and emphasize not all dogs are Lassie.
I gotcha.
Every dog has its own personality and its own merits. So you've got to look for that.
Definitely. So they come in, they're in this intake area, gives you guys an opportunity to assess them, figure out, you know, personality, training, health, all those things. and then we move them over to the adoption center.
Correct.
Now let's talk more about the adoption process, because again, we mentioned, this isn't something where, we laughed. We were joking beforehand that I said I was worried that when we left here today, I was going to be walking out with an animal. But you were quick to tell me that no one really leaves here with an animal on the same day they come in.
No, that typically does not happen. I guess it's possible if you can really get everything over to us that quickly,
Yeah.
but it's doubtful. You can fill out an application online. You can begin the process there. Go on our website, see if there's some animals that appeal to you, and you can start your application. However, until you actually come in and meet the animal one-on-one, your application stops there.
Okay.
Once you've met the animal, we continue on with the process of the application. Right. It's real important to meet the animal and see if it's a good fit. A lot of people come in with some sort of preconceived notion, oh, I want a dog that is this breed or this size or whatever. And they pick the one out on our website that meets those criteria. But they get in here and they find out that dog is not at all for them. It is absolutely not the right fit.
Right.
And the dog that you would probably have least looked at, possibly from the picture, may be the perfect fit for you.
Right.
So it gives you an opportunity to meet them, get to know them. We can find out about you and your lifestyle, what you're looking for, and bring out maybe some others that may fit you better. And you get to meet them.
You take it into consideration too. I mean, just like humans, dogs can take bad pictures too. So you may look at an animal on your website and say, I don't know if he's the one for me, but you come in and you're like, that dog is adorable, So it's good to know, not only, your goal is to help these animals, but you also want to make sure they're a good fit and they're going to be going to a good home.
Yes, and just like with people, you can't tell what they are like by a photograph. That's usually a very big disappointing on dating sites, isn't it? It's a big disappointment. So it's the same here. You can't tell what the animal is going to be like by a photograph, and once you meet them, you feel their energy. And you feel, are they a quiet, passive dog? Are they a more energetic dog? Are they playful? Are they, there's all different personalities, and you get to really feel that when you're here.
And I've been on your website before, and you guys do such a great job describing these animals and kind of talking a little bit more and doing your best to describe their personalities. But again, words can only say so much.
That's right.
So it's good to know that you guys are doing your best to make sure that you find the right dog or the right cat or the right rabbit or the right guinea pig for the right person.
That's right. You find that connection. You find that connection.
Now, changing gears just a little bit. Unfortunately, we've talked about, how much animals can affect your life and how much they can impact you. And unfortunately, their lifespans aren't as long as ours. And we do tend to lose our friends a little earlier than we'd like. I mean, you lose anybody, it's earlier than you'd like probably. And you guys actually offer a lot of services which can benefit people in that sense as well. The first thing I want to talk about is the pet cemetery that you guys have. It's something that I think a lot of people don't think about. When you lose a pet, if you're not somebody who's had a pet before, you may not know what the process is like.
That's
so what's the purpose of the cemetery?
Well, the Baltimore Humane Society Memorial Park is here to serve the public. Yes, if we have animals that pass away here, they are buried out there also, but that's not the primary purpose for this.
Right.
This memorial park is for anybody in the public who would like to give their pets a final resting place.
Okay.
It's very beautiful, as you can see when you walk through. It's so lovely. So it's a really nice place to be able to bury your pet. You can you have options. You can bury your pet. You can bury its ashes. You can spread its ashes. When your pet passes away, until that moment starts to happen, it's not something you usually think about ahead of time.
Right.
You do have the option, just like in a human cemetery, to pre-plan here and buy a plot and have it all ready to go. But if you haven't done that, it's tough. You don't know who to turn to. You'll probably talk to your vet. You may go search online, and then you're not sure what to do. One of the biggest issues people have is what do I do with the body? I know it's kind of morbid, but what do you do? We will pick it up for you and transport. So that's one of the services that we offer to make it easier for you.
Yeah, I think, death is one of those things that, there's such a difference between how it's handled with humans and how it's handled with pets. So yeah, I think a lot of people definitely would be like, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure. So it's good to know that you guys are there to kind of help walk them through. And I mean, that's such an emotionally trying time that the last thing you want to do is try and have to worry about something you know, you want to make this as easy as possible on yourself because
Yeah.
you're already hurting.
In many cases, the loss of a pet is sometimes more traumatizing for humans than the loss of a family member. A lot, you know, it's sad to say, but for many people, their pets are their closest friends. Pet is always with you constantly
Right.
for some people, and that's a huge loss when it suddenly disappears.
Right.
So, and because of that, our Memorial Park director is a certified pet bereavement counselor.
Oh, wow.
So he can help you through the process. And in fact, one of the things that we set up several years ago is a free pet grief support group for the public. So once a month on a Tuesday evening at 7 p.m., people meet here with our bereavement counselor and they have a support group. And it's been very, very helpful for a lot of people. And it's free.
Well, it's good to hear, yeah, because again, you know, bereavement and animals passing, you know, it's not something that I think there's nearly enough focus on, but, you know, it can have just as big of a toll on some people that losing a family member could.
Absolutely.
Because they are family members, you know, so.
They are. They're like a child, you know, in many cases. We also have a lot of memorials and tributes that people can buy or make in honor of their pet. We've got these beautiful garden stones that you can purchase, customized with a photograph of the pet.
Oh, that's nice.
Or of your family members too. You can do that as well. But you customize the stone and you can put it in your garden or keep it. Some of them are made of slate. They're really pretty to keep in the house on a cabinet.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that we offer for people.
That's nice to know. And I think the biggest thing that I think a lot of people need to realize that you mentioned to me as well was, you know, it's a great place to say a final goodbye to your animal, but it's also the fees for the various services. You know, people may say, well, why are you hitting me up for fees and things like that? But this goes towards helping even more animals.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a non-profit shelter.
Right.
We don't make any money, trust me. So when somebody purchases a Memorial Park service, that money goes directly to the care of the animals here. So everything is recycled. We're not making a profit to do anything with that money other than to keep the shelter running.
Right. And yeah, and again, you know, make it very clear to people, you guys are a nonprofit.
Yes.
Any money that you guys ask for goes straight to the animals.
It does.
And that's good to know because, again, they're such an important part of a lot of people's lives that, you know, we want to make sure they're as happy as they can be as well.
Right, and that's part of the legacy that's very lovely about our Memorial Park is that you have a beautiful, serene resting place for your pet, and at the same time are helping other pets who don't have homes. So it's a really nice legacy.
So turning the page and kind of talking a little bit about a happier aspect of the Humane Society, you guys talk so much about the benefits of having a pet, you know, just how much it'll brighten your life and how great it is to have this companion with you at all times. Fortunately for our residents and also seniors across the county and the state, you guys offer the opportunity to get a discount for pets.
Yes, we do.
Not only do you offer a discount for senior citizens, but I know you also offer a discount for senior pets as well. So let's start by talking about since it affects our residents a little bit more, let's talk about the senior citizens discount. What kind of discount can our residents expect?
Okay, if you are a senior human,
Okay, all right, got it.
then you can adopt a cat for only $25.
Wonderful.
Right. Now, if you want to adopt a senior pet, you get half off the adoption fee.
Okay.
Now, the discounts aren't combined, but it still works out basically the same.
Right. So you're still saving a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we want to encourage seniors to come out here and adopt it. And I know a lot of them find that cats are a more suitable pet for them at this point in their lives, so they don't have to get out and walk a dog in the middle of the winter and be outside. We've got tons and tons of cats at all times, and there is bound to be one that will suit you. We've got some cats that like to cuddle, or maybe you're the kind of person who just sort of wants an animal around, but I don't want to cuddle all the time. We've got those too. We've got the independent cats who would love to be in a home.
Right.
So we've got all of them available.
And you look at it from the perspective of even if they are an animal that doesn't need the coddling all the time, you're still giving them a home and you're still giving them someone that even if every once in a while, you know, they might want a little scratch on the back.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice to have.
They will acknowledge you. And, you know, people sometimes shy away from the independent cats, but they often surprise the adopters down the line once they've felt that this is their home and they get to know you. Some of them turn out to be real cuddlers, so it's very interesting to see the process. And that's something I want to emphasize is that when you come to meet an animal here, even when you go out and back and you try and get to know them, you may come a few times, you still aren't going to know them entirely. Once they get home, they blossom.
Oh,
they
good.
just blossom. And you've got to give them that opportunity.
Now, besides all the great services and the wonderful things that you're doing for animals here in Baltimore, I know you guys have plenty of great events that you guys do on a regular basis, and we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, I definitely want to talk more about those events that you guys have coming up. So stay tuned right here to Good Morning Oakcrest. We're here at the Baltimore Humane Society, and we've got plenty more show coming, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Good morning, Oakcrest, and welcome back to your daily morning show. We're still here at the Baltimore Humane Society located in Resiterstown, Maryland. It's a gorgeous facility that we get the opportunity to hear more about from our good friend, Wendy Goldband. And Wendy, before the break, I know we were talking about all the discounts that our residents can enjoy, you know, whether it be they're adopting a senior pet or whether, you know, they're just taking advantage of a senior citizens discount. But there's actually one that you mentioned to me in the break that actually could benefit our residents as well, which is the Pets for Patriots program.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, the Pets for Patriots program is specifically for anybody in the military. They can be active, they can be on reserve, and veterans. So that would apply to a lot of your residents.
Definitely.
Any veteran who would like to adopt an animal, a dog or a cat, can do it through our Pets for Patriots program. What that means is that you get free pet adoption.
Wow.
And you get discounted veterinary care for the life of that adopted pet. So it's a terrific program.
Oh yeah, and you know, we talk, you know, it's funny, I keep saying it over and over again, but you know, pets have such an impact on people's lives that for a lot of our veterans, it can be a real pick-me-up for some of them.
You know, I think they've really done plenty of studies that show that the emotional connection that is there for a person with their animal is very strong and very important, and can be very positive for a lot of people who are in depression.
Great. The one thing we didn't get an opportunity to talk about, we were talking about all the great facilities that you guys have here, and the one thing that I forgot to actually talk to you about also was the fact that, you know, a lot of these dogs, you know, we see pictures from shelters and things like that, and these dogs, unfortunately, you see them in cages and things like that. And don't get me wrong, they do have to spend some time in a cage. You guys give them very roomy cages, I'll give you that. But also there's a lot of play areas that they get the chance to go out and enjoy as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of the facilities that are available for the pets to play around in?
Oh yeah, so Baltimore Humane Society, I'm very proud to say, loves its animals. The staff here adores the animals. We do everything we possibly can to keep them happy and keep them well balanced and enriched. So we do a whole bunch of different things. We have volunteers. A lot of the kids make something called enrichment toys for both the cats and the dogs. So it keeps them busy when they are hanging around. We give them things like Kongs with food inside to keep them busy. Anything to keep them active and their minds busy.
Right.
But also, we've got all our volunteers who come on a daily basis, who help walk the dogs, play with the cats, maybe just sit around and cuddle with one of the animals. We also will take the animals, the dogs in particular, and bring them into the offices. So we try and get them out of the cages and hanging out with us in a more home-like environment as much as possible. And but we also have some other things. We've got play yards, so they can go out and play. We do play groups with the dogs, so a bunch of dogs that are dog friendly and like to hang out with each other go out and play, and that's always a lot of fun. We've got a swimming pool.
Oh wow!
Right, and
that's definitely for the dogs though, not for you guys.
Dogs, yeah.
All right,
unfortunately,
it's a little warm out today. I thought I'd check.
I know, it wouldn't be bad. We've got a big sand pit. A lot of the dogs like to go in there and play with tennis balls.
Oh, great.
And we've got a huge agility yard. So a lot of the dogs, not all of them, but a lot of them like to learn agility. And when I take the kids around for tours here, I like to explain to them that agility is like gymnastics for dogs.
Okay.
And then I say to them, think about it. If you were sitting day in and day out in this one little space with nothing to do, you would lose your mind.
Oh, definitely.
You need something to do. Wouldn't a great movie be terrific? Wouldn't a book be terrific? A game, anything. So for the dogs, agility is a terrific activity for them.
I'm sure, yeah.
Very enriching for them. So, and wouldn't it be nice to say, hey, my dog knows how to jump over a pole? So
it figured out how to run through the tube. That one's always my favorite. When you just see the dog go in, the tube shuffles for a little while, and the dog comes running out. So they always look like they're having so much fun. So we've talked so much about the great things that the Baltimore Humane Society offers, whether it be your clinic, whether it be just the opportunity for people to come in and, you know, if they have to, if you know, for some people it's a very hard situation and they just have to surrender these pets, you guys are doing your best to take care of animals here, not only, like I said, in Baltimore County, but the city. You guys also cover a good percentage of the state as well. So it's good to hear that those services are all available. Unfortunately, you guys are a nonprofit organization. That's not unfortunate. I apologize.
It's unfortunate when you look at the bank account.
That's true. That's true. But it is, and you guys do need to ask for some assistance every once in a while. And fortunately, you guys aren't somebody to just sit here and ask. You guys provide some great services and some great events coming up. I know September is a very busy month for you guys. What are some of the events that you guys are going to be doing coming up soon?
We've got two big events that are coming up in September in particular. The first is the second Sunday in September. I'm sorry, I don't remember the date, but it is the second Sunday at 11 a.m. and we have our annual Pet Memorial Sunday ceremony. So this is a ceremony held right at the entrance to our memorial park. It's beautiful. It's for anybody who has lost a pet. It's free, and they can come and
that's okay.
They can come and enjoy the ceremony. We've got a speaker from Stella Maris talking about grief, and we've got our vet or another vet who will be talking about guilt, because guilt is usually a really big factor with pets dying, because there's a lot of euthanasia that people have to make decisions about. So that's tough. We've got Delaney High School flute players. It's beautiful. We do a flower ceremony, so everybody brings a flower to dedicate for their pets. They bring photographs, so we've got a table lined up with all the pictures of everyone's pets. It's just a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. It lasts about an hour. It's free. It's open to the public. Good. So I highly recommend coming to that.
Definitely, and you know, that's not just for people who've recently lost a pet. No, you know, you can come and just, you know, pay your respects to an animal that you may have lost long ago.
Absolutely. It's just a really lovely, lovely ceremony for anybody to come and attend.
And what else do we have going on in September?
We've got our really, really, really big event. It's Dog Fest.
I was hoping you were going to say that. I was seeing all the signs outside, and I was hoping that was coming up soon. So what exciting things do we have going on at Dog Fest this year?
Well, Dog Fest will be Saturday, September 27th, here on our grounds from 10 to 5. And it is just a huge, huge and fun event. In the morning, we have a walk. We call it Paws on Parade. So from 10 to 12, you can come anytime between 10 and 12 and do your walk on a 1 mile or a 1.6 mile trail out on our wildlife preserve. So you've seen the grounds. It's beautiful.
Oh, definitely.
You bring your dog if you'd like, but you don't have to. You can bring a child or a grandchild or just yourself.
Some people might consider those pets. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But it's lovely, and of course that benefits us because hopefully you will have collected some donation pledges, and that money, of course, goes to helping us. But for the rest of the day and during that time, Dog Fest is also running. It's all over our grounds. We've got all kinds of activities, and you don't have to have a dog to love Dog Fest. I want to stress that. You will have the time of your life with or without a dog. We've got all kinds of activities for the dogs. We've got bowling and hide and seek with your owner, and sniffer tracks, and we've got paw painting, so you can go home with your dog's Rembrandt. We've got a bubble chase where they chase bubbles that are being blown. We've got the 20-yard dash, and then we also have a huge agility yard, huge. So everybody gets a chance to have their dog try all the different kinds of agility equipment, and that's a big hit. Our swimming pool is open for everyone, and there's always a big line waiting for each dog to get in and do a little swim.
It's still September. I'm sure it's still warm out.
Sometimes it's been so hot it was like July, but yeah, it's rain or shine, so fingers crossed on that one. But so we've got all kinds of activities like that. We've also got contests. So your dog can be entered in the best kisser, the best dancer, the best trick, best costume, goes on and on, biggest, smallest. And this year we have wonderful prizes. we always give out a trophy and ribbons for each of the contest winners, but this year Magooby's Joke House is giving all sorts of free tickets and things for the winners, which is really nice.
So not only prizes for the dogs, but also prizes for the owners
yes,
as well.
Yes, very much so. And anybody who enters Dog Fest this year will also receive a half-price ticket to Magooby's.
Oh, great.
So it's kind of a nice little plus.
If nothing else, you can go to see a good comedy show at half the price.
That's right. The contests are judged by celebrity judges.
Okay.
We have all kinds of celebrities, local celebrities who will be here. Let me think. Some of them, there's Jennifer Franciotti, Bob Turk.
Oh, wonderful.
Denise Koch, and it just goes on and on. We've got all kinds of celebrities, and we've got politicians as well.
Some people might not consider them celebrities, but that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, so it's just a really fun day. There's food. There's a kids' humane education section with a moon bounce and face painting and crafts that they can make, and it's just endless. So you can bring your kids, you can bring your dogs, you just come yourself. You will have a blast.
Now, speaking of celebrity guests / judges, I know for a fact that you also are going to be a celebrity guest at our second annual Canine Cup. We're going to be bringing our Canine Cup back.
Oh, okay.
I caught her off guard. She wasn't ready for that one.
Was I invited? I didn't know. Yes, I will be there.
Of course you are. Definitely.
When is it?
It's going to be in October, so you can come by and see us. I know you were there last year.
Yes, I was.
To
It was
represent
a lot
the
of
Humane
fun.
Society. Good. Well,
Yeah.
we're glad. We'll definitely let you. We'll get the invitation out to you.
Happy to be there.
Well, Wendy, thank you so much for talking with us today and giving us an opportunity to see. You know, so many times we get the opportunity to come out and see you. It's nice to come out, or you get the chance to come out and see us. It's nice to come out and see you, so we can learn more about the great things the Humane Society offers.
Well, we're happy to have you, and we would love all the residents to come out. We are open Tuesday through Sunday, noon to 6. If anybody wants to get a group together, I will be happy to take them on a tour. We do tours here.
Okay.
So all they have to do is just give me a call, and I'll set up a day and a time, and they can come out as a group, and it's a good time.
Now, if people are interested in finding out more information about the Humane Society, I know you guys have a website. What is that?
It's bemorehumane.org, B-M-O-R-E, humane.org. And for those people who are into social media and Facebook, we have a Facebook page, and our Facebook name is Be More Humane as well.
Wonderful. Well, again, Wendy, thank you so much for coming out and chatting with us today. If you missed any part of our program, we've been here at the Baltimore Humane Society located in Resiterstown, Maryland. I've got the opportunity to talk to Wendy Goldband, who is the head of marketing and public relations here at the Humane Society. If you missed any part of this program, you can tune back in for our rebroadcast at 2, 7, 9, as well as midnight. For Good Morning Oakcrest, I'm Chris Taydus. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.